Very excited to get an email from Elizabeth May this morning. I'm always excited when I get an email from Elizabeth May. Well, this time it's a press release from the Green Party, and here's the headline on it. Canadian government must offer full assistance to detained citizens in Israel. Whoa, what did Israel get up to? Why are they being so mean? Well, according to Elizabeth May, 2 Canadians were detained running the naval blockade that Israel has on the Hamas terrorist group that controls the Gaza Strip. As you know, Israel withdrew from the Gaza Strip years ago, and the place is basically run by terrorists. Now Hamas is a theocratic Sharia law enforcing terrorist group that occasionally, and by that I mean every few months, throws missiles into Israel targeting civilians. And every year or so, Israel goes in to try and root out those terrorists. Well, there are some extreme anti-Semites around the world who love to support Hamas, and amongst those are Canadians. And they like to run this naval blockade to embarrass Israel and to show their support for Hamas. They claim that they're bringing aid and humanitarian gifts to Gaza, but take a look at the Washington Post picture of the sum total of humanitarian aid by this latest boat. Basically 2 little cardboard boxes. Yeah, you don't need 18 people in a ship to deliver 2 cardboard boxes worth of, quote, aid. This was about embarrassing Israel and supporting terrorists. By the way, Israel sends hundreds of semi-trailer trucks worth of aid on its own to Gaza all the time, from foodstuffs and other staples to building supplies. These are not genuine aid missions, they're political missions. Who are these Kevin Nish and Robert Lovelace that Elizabeth May is jumping to defend? Well, Robert Lovelace is a convicted criminal who has served time in Canada for his political stunts here. No mention of that in Elizabeth May's article. And of course, Kevin Nish, this is by my count at least his 3rd flotilla mission to run the Israeli naval blockade. He was actually on the Mavi Marmara, the Turkish flagged ship that started this whole flotilla raid a few years ago. Here is Israeli Defense Force videotape of when they were putting commandos on the ship to inspect it for weapons. That's why the naval blockade is there, because foreign countries like Iran ship military weapons to Hamas in Gaza to shoot Israel. When the IDF soldiers, the Israel Defense Forces soldiers, were coming down on these ships, look at these, quote, humanitarians attacking them with iron rods and knives and throwing them off the ship. Yeah, Kevin Nish was actually on that boat. What a proud moment for Canada that was. Here's an interview that Kevin Nish did with the Canadian press a few years ago about why he goes on these illegal missions to Israel. He says, the goal isn't to send aid to Gaza, but to break the blockade. This is what he told Canadian press 4 years ago. He said, I'm committed to going back. I was committed to return when I was in prison in Israel. So he's been arrested for breaking the law before, and yet he continues to go back. And Elizabeth May thinks it's Israel's fault. Kevin Nish was asked a good question by a reporter once. He was asked, aren't you really just supplying a terrorist group? I mean, you're bringing your aid to, quote, Gaza, but the officials who run the place are terrorists. Aren't you just supporting the terrorist groups? And he was fairly honest. He said, I would imagine they would probably have to be delivered to Gaza, to the Hamas. Hamas controls Gaza, unquote. So he admits he's giving aid to a terrorist group. That's why Elizabeth May is defending him, I think. Elizabeth May isn't so open-minded and tolerant for people who love Israel as much as Lovelace and Nish love Hamas. You might recall, until recently, the president of the Green Party was named Paul Estrin, and he had the temerity not to break any laws or, fight any soldiers anywhere, but to write a blog saying that the situation in Gaza, quote, makes him sad, and it's not all black and white, that Hamas has some responsibility. Well, my God, he was drummed out of the party within days by Elizabeth May. I think that party is too sympathetic to terrorists. I think that party is too intolerant of Jews and Israel. I think the Green Party of Canada is becoming more and more anti-Semitic, like the Green Party is around the world. And so let me close by showing you the video of the deputy Green Party leader in the United Kingdom. In a bizarre and dangerous speech he was giving in that country. Dangerous, not, he wasn't threatening violence, but showing the danger that the Green Party is facing around the world of becoming an anti-Semitic front group. Take a look at Ali Sharar.
Just because your God tells you to stand here does not give you the right to push us aside. Just because you observe the of Holocaust Memorial Day does not mean that you have learned the lessons of history. Listen up, warmongers! Just because you switch off your TV set to avoid upsetting your children does not mean that you have not killed our children. We all understand that you cannot have peace in the Middle East without justice for the Palestinians. If you tolerate this, then your children will be next, will be next, will be next, will be next. Peace be upon you.
Yeah, Elizabeth May's not there quite yet, but I think her Green Party's getting there. For TheRebel.media, I'm Ezra Levant.